I'm going to talk about the top phase of the pedal stroke and the importance of core activation and developing a strong core in order to facilitate this. Now I like to prop my front wheel up pretty high when working on this phase of the pedal stroke. Specifically, you'll feel like your body wants to fall off the back part of your seat. In order to prevent this from happening, you have to activate your core strongly in order to still follow through at the top part of the phase of the pedal stroke. So it's important that you actually are doing a pelvic tilt, somewhat firmly stabilizing your pelvis square while flexing your hip, extending the knee at the same time. It's important that you're not reliant specifically on your hip flexors proper, meaning your iliopsoas for those people that know anatomy out there. But similarly, your deep abdominal muscles help somewhat flex your pelvis as well, and it's important that that actually is in just a very neutral, strong, firmly fixed position, so that your hip flexors aren't doing the entire work of pulling up and following through. So if you actually are activating your deep abs, if they're super strong and you've worked them well, you'll notice that your hip flexors will be way less burnt out when pushing strongly at the top phase of the pedal stroke. In doing so, it's very, very helpful because you'll have a much better bike to run transition for triathletes out there when you're not so reliant on your hip flexors in order to do this action. So just showing you here some core specific exercises that are somewhat bike specific. You can easily find ways to be somewhat specific to cycling, pulling up your flexing your hip, extending your knee at the same time as activating your core. Now, a national team swim team coach once mentioned to me that he thought that a lot of swimmers could benefit from doing some isometric exercises at various phases of the swim stroke. For example, I'm just showing you here, I'm standing up, but I'm trying to be in a fairly swim, trying to be in still a phase in the swim stroke where my arm would be activating my triceps. Trying to get strong in that phase and trying to keep your elbow high when you're sitting down. In this example, relaxing your hand, but just try to internally rotate the shoulder in isometric contraction.